I see, mommy, you the first person on this live. Thanks. First of all, how is everyone doing? Me, I'm very, very fine. And I wanna know how everyone is doing. Then we go into today's topic of discussion, as you see the title of the video of the live. Mommy, I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you doing, mommy? Last time I last had you when you were sick. Yeah, you were sick, mommy. How are you now? Mommy, you were a bit okay. That's nice. That's nice. You will be better. You will be better. Jay-Z, thanks for coming in, Jay-Z. How are you doing? Mommy, the voice will get okay. I just continue drinking and eating mangoes, oranges, uh, kind of, kind of that stuff. Lucky, thanks for coming in. How are you doing, Lucky? Jay-Z, this is not a red carpet. I'm just like I'm touching the screen like at the camera screen, so it appears red. These days I don't wanna show my face, and I'm from Sleepy's. You know how it be looking. Lucky, how are you doing? Lucky, how are you doing? Lucky, the network is on and off. I don't know why these days. Most of the times it's always on and off. Jeros, thanks for coming in. How are you doing, Jeros? Alia, thanks for coming in. How are you doing there? Lucky you 50-50. You will get better, Lucky. Don't worry, you get better. Everything will be okay. Yeah, there is much rain in Newgate. There is almost nowadays. I think. Okay, like in today's live, we're gonna be talking about, as you saw, that the title of the live is drug abuse and the life on drugs. The life on drugs. Mainly here, we talk about maybe the causes of drug abuse, the side effects, and the drugs which are mostly abused. So, if I'm, I may say, drug abuse is just like using a drug too much, but mostly these drugs which are abused, they are not recommended by doctors because most of them be marijuana, Xanax, tobacco, cocaine, even alcohol itself. Even alcohol itself is a drug. So most of them are not usually recommended by doctors. But even the other drugs which are recommended by doctors, they are also abused. Some people uh, take them too much, and they reach time where they can not be there without them. But this way, in this case, these drugs, usually people take them just to be maybe to get sleep, or to get in mood, sort of that, not for health reasons. Yeah, Jay's alcohol is also abused. It's also under the drugs abused. Mommy, even tabs, but mostly tabs be for health reasons. So you can know you may leave them out, but they are also abused. Like some people usually take them so much, and they reach a time where they can't be there without them. Like person can be taking, as you said, mommy. Me, there is a time I had become addicted to Panadol. I almost like in that situation where you can't live without that drug. But that was for health reasons. So, but here, like in tobacco, cocaine, Xanax, there is also they call it Mari. They call it Mari. There are so many. There are so many. Yes, so you tried on what? Saying you tried on. Try. The guys one day tried out Chicola. You tried on what? Maria, thanks for coming in. I see saying you're busy, but you on. Thanks a lot. Mommy, hope now you left them because okay, my dad is also like in such situation because usually most of the time he always feels headache, so he takes action like action. These drugs action, stabs action almost every day, every day. For 10 years. So webantuma zenendi yako. What I heard of that Mairunj, because I have never took it in my life. By the way, I've never used like such drugs in my life. But I hear people saying like if you take that they call it, most of them call it Mairunj, Mairunj. Yeah, yeah, Mairunj. Not there is also Mira. I was gonna call it Mira, but Mairunj, like you don't get any sleep. You don't feel like you can spend the whole night. Even mine is on and off. It's disturbing. Jaros, thanks for keeping in, Jaros. I mean, saying me, I used to take without any pain. Mamvita kadagara. Yeah, is saying Chikola. I think it's marijuana. Not so. Chikola is not marijuana. Marijuana is enjaga. Chikola, most they always be meaning my lunch, not so, not marijuana. All right, guys. Thanks. But I had opportunity, like to talk about like people who usually use these drugs to talk with them and get some experience on what they be feeling, on why they do that. But what I got was like they they s- they started this thing some time back, but they could do it like slowly. Then after some time they get totally addicted, and they could not be or spend like even a day or two without using these drugs. And mostly this way in Uganda, most of the people usually use marijuana. Mostly use marijuana. It's the most common one. And then mairunji. And there is also Mira. If you know it, if you have ever been in Uganda, you know it. You know it. And also Mira. Then maybe in other countries, uh, that's where they use cocaine, Xanax. Then there is this Mari. They usually call it Mari, and marijuana also. Are the causes of this like this drug abuse? Why people go into search to using drugs? Thanks, mommy, for keeping in. So why people abuse drugs mostly, and and like what I try to, most of them be influenced by peer pressure. Sometimes they don't be into it, but the people they be around, the people they stay with, are the one who make them go into such. So if you want to keep away from this, you need to check the people who you stay with. Let's say if you stay with a person who does so, who uses cocaine, who uses marijuana, for some time he may influence you, or he may force you even to like to start using them too. I just need, if you can't make these people change from that life, then you have to separate from them, because uh, that's not a sad life. That's not a life, a good life. Alex, thanks for coming in. How are you doing, Alex? Alia, thanks for keeping in. Maria, thanks for keeping in. This this drug abuse could be Joshua. Thanks for coming in, Joshua. How are you doing, Joshua? How is everything? How are you doing? If you're not busy, let me know your like what do you talk about? The today's topic, the title, the live stream. Jairus, thanks for keeping in. Okay, another thing I was saying, which may cause this drug abuse, was a person being totally free in his life, like not working, just being there, spends uh, every day like not doing anything, just there. It can lead to such. Michael, Michael, thanks for coming in. I was saying a person being totally free, like not working, can lead to such because they say, and they say, like an idle mind, yeah, you can complete an idle mind. So if you're not working, you're always there free. You can be tempted to go in search. Michael, how are you doing? If thanks for coming in. If how are you doing? If let me know what you talking about the title of this. Let me know what you just say. Just say, as you say, it's all about drugs. It's all about drugs. It's all about drugs. Michael is saying, share your subs with me. I hit 1K, bro. Michael, maybe I will tell you in most of the subs. I say most of the subs I first got, most of them I got them on Twitter. My first subs, most of them I got them on Twitter. But they are not loyal. They are not loyal because like subs, those subs are those that like I just make a person like subscribe on new channel. Then after I will let him go. So they are not loyal. I don't know. I will try to share you out, but I don't know. But I will try. Maybe we. How is the going, Patricia? How is everything? Like in these drugs, have you never used them in your life? Patricia, you good? That's the best thing. Me, I've never used them. Maybe I used to just sip a little cocoa, just a little. But this marijuana, cocaine, Mila, no, I have never, and I pray, I never get into such. Yeah, Michael is saying, I made drugs I have never tried, but the ones who use nine of the 10 end their life in the LMI. Exactly. Drugs are not, they are not good. They are totally not good in the long run. Like most people, at first they take them and be like, they're not feeling anything. But after some these drugs totally ruin your life, totally ruin your life, and you get too much addicted, and you can't do anything without. these drugs. That's why they are not good. Patricia, you have also never tried using drugs. Okay, that's nice. So we are still talking on the causes of this drug abuse. First, we talked on peer pressure. Then the other thing was idleness, like being there, no working, may lead you to search, but mostly peer pressure because most of the people I try to get their experience about this, they could tell me I was influenced by so and so to start doing this. I was here and here, they were doing this, so I started doing this. Most of them, they could tell me so. So the major and mo- 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 and the other thing you can't live out the community we stay in. The community we stay in, like here in Uganda, as you see in the ghetto, like most people from the ghetto, if they tell you their story, there will be a line where they will tell you either they are using them or they have ever used them. So the process we stay in also may I was taking a shot though it's too cold. This way it's cold now, but I was taking a shot. I'm feeling like I may get cough in the next day or 2 days, but I'll be okay. So now I want to get a person. Jerris, thanks for keeping in. I want to get a person like most of you here are saying you have never used drugs. I want to get a person who has ever used them, like who is here on the live, and maybe he gives us his experience also. Eva, thanks for keeping in. Thanks for keeping in, Eva. I'm sorry, my network is on and off. I be on and off. But anyway, I shall move on. So let me be telling you this for a meanwhile. I had the person who was using these drugs because I was living with him. But he was my friend, but we are not living together like living together. But he was my friend. We could share some common things. But he was using marijuana. Then this Mira, we call it Mira. Then I don't know maelonji in how they call them in English. Maelonji. I don't know how they call them. How are you doing, Tasha? So you could share with me some common things because we are all playing football by some time. We could do some music, so we could share some common things. So it was easier for him to tell me his experience about this. Tasha, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Now one of the things she told me, as I told you, he was also influenced in this, but he told me it was his dad, like who made him. I know it wasn't his dad; it was his uncle. His uncle was the one who made him like to start using drugs because his uncle was dealing in drugs. Was dealing in drugs, so he was also using them. So he ended up influencing uh, this guy also to use them. Now, after he told me, after that he told me like how he feels when he uses them and when he doesn't use them. So when he uses them, he told me because every person like some may get so energetic like he can do all if heavy things. For him, it wasn't the case. He could just like it. For him, he could just feel sleep. He could sleep, and every time he could take those drugs, he could just sleep after some time. So that was the effect when he takes those drugs. He told me he could feel something like headache, but not headache. Somehow hot, even if it's a cold day. Sylvia, thanks for coming in, Sylvia. How are you doing, Sylvia? Tell us your experience about drugs. Tell us if you have ever or never used them. So I was still telling about that guy. So he told me if he couldn't, like, if he could spend a day without taking these drugs, could feel a little bit headache, but not headache. Like, in that situation where there is a small headache, could feel warm even though it's not, it's cold, sort of that. So he couldn't feel comfortable. Patricia, thanks for keeping in. Thanks for keeping in. Now the side effects. One is this addiction, like getting addicted to this drug is also a side effect. Like getting addicted to something is a side effect because if you're not around that thing, like you are not around that those drugs, you are maybe in an area where there are no drugs. You may even die. Some people even die when they are when they are I was saying some people may even die when they take 1 2 days without taking these drugs. Thanks for keeping in. Sylvia, thanks a lot, Sylvia. How are you doing? Thanks for coming in, Frida. How are you doing, Frida? How is everything? I, I need to know your experience about drugs. If you have ever or never used them, or if I've been with around or been with people who use them, let us know that experience about drugs. Another side effect of these drugs, they may lead to doing undesirable things in the society, because most of the time you hear this so and so killed someone, raped someone, like such things. And when you like follow across those things, there is a link with drugs. After you may hear he was from taking alcohol, he was taking marijuana, a sort of that. So they another side effect of these drugs, they also cause diseases. Mostly they damage body organs. As you know, excess alcohol, they they damage body organs, and in the long run you end up dying. And some people even die when they do overdose, like they take much of these drugs. But mostly, at least for in Africa, it's not common thing. Many people just die of overdose. I don't know why, or they are somehow weak, or their drugs are, too strong. But they most of those people die of overdose when they do overdose. Quiz, thanks for coming in, Quiz. How are you doing, Quiz? How is everything? Tell us your experience about drugs. Have you ever? I don't know what's happening with my network. I'm very sorry. It's disturbing me. It's on and off. It's on and off. I don't know. Sylvia, I mean Patricia. Thanks for keeping in. Thanks for keeping in, Patricia. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for keeping in. So we are still talking about drugs, the side effects. The side effects we talked about. It's not common in Africa. It's not common in Africa. Uh, Death due to overdose is mostly in Europe. And by the way, most of the people in Europe, like those who live in, how do you call them? They call them suburbs. Yeah, they call them suburbs, like those suburbs of Europe. Most of them are into this. Most of them are into this. Like you see, most of the rappers are the most famous European rappers. They have uh, the usual they have, and some even die because of this. Because even one of my favorite, like my favorite artist died because of drugs overdose. He made overdose, so he died. But in here in Africa, it's not always common. It's not common. I don't know. Maybe we just strong, just strong. It's not common to hear a person dying of overdose. Like he took marijuana too much marijuana, or something like that. Then he died. It's not common in society. Like raping, killing people, sort of that. Uh, sort of that. So those can be the side effects of taking drugs, and much more. There are many. There are many. There are too many. Sylvia, thanks for keeping in. Thanks a lot. I say you. I left you on Ben. Thanks a lot, Sylvia. Thanks a lot. Wow, saying on both Shewa and Sylvia. Thanks a lot, Sylvia. Thanks a lot. Last time you told me about alcohol. So tell us your experience. Like, how do you feel when you, maybe when you have just took it, and how do you feel when you spend like 2 days or 3 days without taking it? Like now, like I know where you are, alcohol is not allowed. So, what's your experience? How do you feel? But thanks for keeping in. Yes, tell us, tell us. Maybe what I can say for alcohol, most of the people, yeah, just I'm asking you, just tell us your experience when you have just took alcohol after taking it. Then when you spend like at that time you have spent without taking it, how do you feel? Frida, yeah, she was is Livia, is Livia. I think I was the first person to know it. I think I was the first person to know it. Quiz, thanks for keeping in. Thanks a lot. How are you doing? I had the opinion about this. Have you ever used drugs, or have you ever been with a person who uses drugs? Are you in Kamori? Okay, okay, bro. Okay, bro. Thanks for supporting. Yes, I have said it was hard for you. Your first first felt sick. I know. Because most of the times it's not easy. I had even in rehab, like these rehabilitation centers where they take maybe these people who have done excess, who are about to get mad because of such things. They told me, like I hear like most of the people say they don't move you completely from uh, drugs straight away that very day. And they say if maybe you have been taking marijuana, they will just let you sit slowly, like let's say today. Then they give you quarter away for some time. Then after some time they don't give you anything, and you get used in that life of not taking, but they don't usually remove you completely from drugs there and then. You can die. Now, what I was saying, basing on what I could see most of the time, this is about alcohol because most of the people usually take alcohol in most of the communities. They usually take alcohol, but some, after taking alcohol, some just become cool, totally cool, like totally cool. You can even slap or beat him, and he does nothing. Then others, but this is common to most of them. They they become talkative. They become talkative, even if he or she is a silent person. Others they make it worse. Others make it worse, and they start these vulgar words. Like they start talking these vulgar words after drinking in, abusing, sort of that. So that's a experience basing on what I see. As and other people are not. Some are hard guys. He may take in like 4 or 6 bottles, but he stays the same. Can still be sober, but when he has took like 4 6 bottles. Then on the drugs, as I told you at first, uh, it's also the same like on alcohol. Most of the drugs, like a person is affected differently from another person. Most of the people are affected differently from one another. Even on marijuana, some just sleep. Then another, you may be directed to doing these malicious things, like when it takes, when he takes marijuana, he may go into these things of fighting, uh, raping, uh, such things. Oh, my network is bad. I'm on and off. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. Aliyah, thanks for keeping in. Yeah, do you have any experience on this? Have you ever been with people who do drugs, who use drugs, or who take them? I guess you are not finished. Like you are told us uh, uh, something small. First, tell us more, Jay-Z. How do you feel when you like? How are you affected when you take alcohol? How are you affected? Some people just become talkative, and that's common to most of them. Others, uh, they just cool down. Then others, then they start talking vulgar words, fight, and even fighting. Yeah, Jesus has some idea about it. Has some idea about it. I'm going. Jay-Z is saying it's power. Jay-Z is saying it's power of abuse which makes you abusive. It's not alcohol. I thought it's alcohol. Maybe alcohol also just takes away shyness, and you can abuse someone without any fear. Because I had a story where a woman she was when she could like quarrel with someone in the morning, then in the evening she could go take some some sips. Then she comes back after taking in the evening. Then she abuses abuses this one without any shyness, without any fear. So maybe it's like that when you take shyness goes away. Then there is another experience I got to know from a person he was using this, they call it Milage. It's called Milage. Again, Sylvia is saying, who is one? I'm not getting what you are saying, Sylvia. Uh, Sylvia, what are you meaning? Okay, I was saying like there is also this other drug. Hey, street food. Thanks for coming in. How are you doing, street food? How are you doing, street food? Jay, thanks for keeping in. Atisha, thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping in. Street food, how are you doing? Okay, I was talking about Mirage. So, if maybe someone I would like to make you happy, he or she would just give you alcohol. Okay, that's not a bad effect after taking. XXL, thanks for coming in, XXL. How are you doing? XXL, tell us your experience about drugs. Have you ever or you have never used them? Now I'm still telling you about the other drug, but it's dangerous. Dude was getting spoiled because he told me they just put it under the tongue. Like I don't know what they are somehow powder, what they are pills. I don't know, but he told me they just put them under the tongue. Like you put them under the tongue, and you'll be there. But what I saw, like when dude try to open his mouth, like you see the at the infront, at the down infront set of the teeth, almost most of them are like a hole getting into his gums. So these drugs are not good. They are totally not good. And I think if he continues using those drugs, he will definitely lose his teeth because most of them we are black, like completely black. We are getting black. XXL, you are saying you use drugs for good. Sorry, my network is somewhat poor. XXL. Now I was waiting for you. Now tell us your experience about this. Like what caused you? Because as I was like as we are like where we started from, we most like what we gave like as the most powerful reason why which leads to drug abuse was mostly peer pressure, being around people who usually do drugs, who take drugs. So what caused you to get into drugs? What caused you? What made you get into drugs? XXL, they ask you which purpose. Which purpose? XXL, tell us something. We really need it. I really need to know. Alia, thanks for keeping it. Yes, thanks for keeping it. Thanks. XXL, are you still on? Sozi, thanks for coming in. So, how are you doing? How are you doing? Like, as you saw, the title of this live was a drug up. Have you ever used drugs for sometime back, or now even? I tell us your experience if you have ever, or if you have ever been around people who use drugs. I may have I have ever been around people. I've ever been with people who use drugs. Where they got to know the side effects of these drugs. XXL, so you're good. XXL is saying, I never misuse drugs. I would just take them to feel happy and get more vibes to to bang my chick. She got the So, okay. So, XXO, let me ask you this. I ask you this, XXO. So, let me do it in a whisper. So, XXO, I hope I hope XXL is the one listening to this only. XXL. So when you use drugs, like you get manpower. Eh? But show me, bro. As what he's saying, everything can be a drug, but my drug is lying. So you're addicted to lying. Okay, about lying, yes, it has some effects, like side effects, but not too much. Not too much. As like these drugs, the cocaine, the marijuana, the Xanax, the Mali. So it has, no, it has like that's less effects. Thanks for keeping in. Yes, thanks for keeping. Just like you see, I heard you have a common thing with XX, so both of you could get happy after. But I guess you were taking alcohol, not these other drugs. Yeah, thanks for keeping in. Eva, thanks for keeping in. Eva, tell us your experience about this. Have you ever been with people who take drugs? Oh, yeah, have you ever took them yourself? Tell us your experience. We need to know. Have you ever been with people who take drugs? But I never got into such. I never used them. Thanks be to God. Sylvia, what's your drug? So as I said, his drug is lying. What's your... By the way, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. I really appreciate. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the love. I really appreciate, and I promise I never do drugs. I'll never get to drugs, be it alcohol, because I don't take alcohol. I don't take alcohol. Hivyo ugambe sina kinali nkozeseza mpoze emmere. Emmere buli omu agikozesa. So in a good life, if you're away from drugs, kept away from drugs, that's nice. Don't ever. But right now, where you are, I think you can't go into such. Maybe if you get an husband or a boyfriend who does so, may influence you or force you to do so. But now, can. XSL is saying even YouTube live can be a drug. How? Being live every time. I know. Maybe maybe if you say like that's my addiction, being on social media, because way back like as let me see 5 years back, 6 years back, I was always on my phone. I could I could be on my phone almost at the whole day. If I if I could not be working out something, I could just say on my phone. And right now, up to now, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to such. And if I spend a day like maybe power is just gone off and I spend a day without being on, I also feel not good. Thanks for the support, guys. I'm gonna break off. Vibe. Thanks for coming in. Aggie, how are you doing, Aggie? How is everything? Aggie, tell us your experience about drugs. Have you ever used them? Or guys, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for the love. I'm gonna break up in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I'm gonna break up. I break off. I'm gonna break off in 3 minutes. I will prepare for the next live. It's gonna. I mean, for the next premiere. It's gonna start at 7:30. I think. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate. Michael, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Okay, Boo, Boo, how are you doing? How are you doing, Boo? I'm gonna get off in like 3 or 4 minutes. How is everything? Have you ever have you ever been around people who use drugs? Or have you ever used drugs, bro? Tell me. Well, I miss you the more. I miss you the more. I just know. Carol, thanks for coming in. Vibe, thanks for keeping in. Bro, I miss you the more. I miss you the more. I love you much. So I have no idea. You have no idea on drugs. Okay, that's nice. Me, I have an idea, but I have never used them. I have never been into them. I just who the people who use drugs. So that's where I got an idea from. But personally, I never use them. Sharifa, thanks for coming in. Sharifa, how are you doing? Carol, thanks for keeping in. Vibes, thanks for keeping in. Thanks for the love. I'm soon getting off. I'm soon getting off. How is everything? Sharifa, you saying I fine. How about you, babes? Wabu? Okay, that's nice. If you fine, I'm fine. I'm fine too. Sharifa, I'm fine too, and my boy is fine too. We are fine. Totally fine. Doing well. Let me get off. Let me get off. We prepare for the next premiere. And thanks for the support. And thanks for the love. I really appreciate. Let me get off. Uh, let me get off. Thanks for the support.